Hi, I'm Jennifer Waldman with Utterly Simple Designs. Welcome back, or just welcome if this is your first time. We are going to work on our bonus block, which is July's block. It's the house block. It shouldn't take too long, and when we're all done, we're gonna put it up here on my design wall where I have all my other blocks that I've done. I don't have my sister's blocks, Diane, that she did, but I do have the blocks that I've done, and we'll put the house block right in the center there and see how it's coming along. Also, if you prefer to learn by written instructions, we have our written instructions available on our website. And also, you're going to need to go to the website anyway to get the fabric requirements. Utterlysimple.com is our website. So once you go there and get your fabric requirements, if you prefer to be here on YouTube and sew along with us, certainly here we are. And all of our other videos for blocks 1 through 6, and then today's July's block will also be there. And all the written instructions for blocks 1 through 6 and today's is also on our website. Okay, let's get started with our cutting instructions. These are the cutting instructions for our July block, the house block. It is a 20 by 20 inch unfinished block. From your red fabric, you will cut one 3.5 inch by 4 inch strip. You will also cut one 4.5 inch by 7 inch strip. From your blue fabric, you'll cut one 2 inch by 10 inch strip, one 2.5 inch by 10 inch strip, one 3.5 inch square, one 3.5 inch by 4 inch strip, one 3.5 inch by 4.5 inch strip, two 5 inch by 10 inch strip, one 7 3/8 inch square. From your yellow fabric, you will cut one 3.5 inch square. From your teal fabric, you will cut one 7 3/8 inch square. And from your white fabric, you'll cut one 7 3/8 inch square, one 4 by 7 inch by 7 inch strip, and one 4 inch by 10.5 inch strip. And if you want to go ahead and write these letters on scrap pieces of paper and then pin that to the corresponding fabric. I mean, it looks like a lot, but I guess it really isn't. But if that's helpful to you, then you could try that. Okay, that was a lot. Let's move on to our next step. Step 2 is to take our 7 3/8 inch squares from our blue fabric, our teal fabric, and our white fabric. And we're just going to cut these in half diagonally. So I'm just going to line those up and cut those in half diagonally, just like that. Okay, and now we will move on to step number 2. Step 2, we're going to assemble our roof, door, and window. So since we just cut our roof, we're going to lay the roof out first. And you will do this in this order. Your white A will go there. Your other white A will go here. Your blue A's will go there and there. Your teal A will go here, and your other teal A will go there. And that is your roof. Your door assembly is your blue F and your red B. And your window assembly, let me move this here. Okay, there's your door. Your window assembly is your blue D, your yellow A, and your blue E. Okay, so now we're going to sew these triangles together. We're going to sew the door and above the door together. We're going to sew this unit together, and then we will come back and continue on to step number 3. Here are the 3 units that I've sewn together. My roof unit, I know it's not completely sewn, but I sewed each triangle. And then our door unit and our window unit. And I ironed my seams toward the darker side of each triangle. So this went to the blue side, this went to the teal side, so that when you sew these together, you can nest your seam before you sew. You nest this diagonal seam, and then you can sew your 1/4 inch seam there, okay? And then I just ironed this one toward the darker fabric, darker colored fabric. Okay, now we're going to fill in with our other pieces. So the side piece here, this is your G, your blue G. This is your other blue G. This is your blue C. And then your blue B. Okay, and then we have our white C and our red A and our white B. So now we have rows. Is that right? Oh yeah, okay. So now we have rows that we can, sew together. So we'll sew our rows together like that. Okay, I'm back, and I sewed all the blocks together in each row, and now I'm going to sew each row together. I do want to point out there are 2 seams, this seam and this seam. They're going to line up, and in order to have them line up and lie nice and flat, you're going to want to iron your seam allowances a certain way. So for this seam allowance right here, the red and the white fabric, I ironed it toward the red, and then for this one I did it the opposite way toward the blue and white. So when you go to sew these will nest just nicely, and then when you're all done, that seam will line up and it will lie flat. And then the same for this. I've ironed this seam toward the teal and blue square, and I've ironed this seam this way. So the same thing. You'll nest those seams and you'll sew it and they'll lie nice and flat. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my machine. I will sew all 3 rows together, and then we'll put it up on the design board and we'll see how it looks. Here's our finished house block. It turned out really nice. It's coming together with all the other blocks too. All right, if you had fun today, please hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Visit our website, obviously for the written instructions and the fabric requirements, but we have other things on our website. We have other free patterns. We have patterns that aren't free also. We sell our own fabric, so take a looky there. And thanks for joining in today. We will see you next month. So long for now, and keep quilting utterly simple.